Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons in your mind. You were able to hear all your past traumas. You were able to listen to them. You're able to say, okay, now I can now talk to people about what I went through. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that people nowadays, in their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself. We are humans. But then again, if you always think that we're humans, you will always just be a human and always make the same mistakes. Go through the archives, dig it up, study it, and then use it for yourself.
It's how you gained mastery. See, feeling confident is because that's what you feel after you've done it over and over and over again. But true confidence begins the moment you're willing to try.
We are taken apart slowly, convinced to take an easier path, enticed by comfort. Most of us aren't defeated in one decisive battle. We are defeated one tiny, seemingly insignificant surrender at a time that chips away at who we should really be. It isn't that you wake up one day and decide, that's it, I'm going to be weak. No. It is a slow, incremental process. It chips away at our will. It chips away at our discipline.
When you invest in something and you hustle and you work for something, you got a different type of attachment to it. You're gonna have a cold day in hell for somebody to try to take this from you. We live by this, we die by this. We don't surrender, we don't retreat.
Once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind. If you always dreamt about being a singer-songwriter and you never did it, you will be haunted by that at the age of 70, because it's still right here, stored in the back of your mind. It's something that's meant for you, that's trying to call to you. You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they fucking haunt you.
You're suffering from self-doubt while others are intimidated by your full potential. If your past self could see where you're at today, think of how impressed they would be.
Imagine there are eternal verities: truth, beauty, justice, love, courage, fortitude, passion. Think of all those things as virtues. So virtue is what all virtues have in common. That's the relationship of God to the good. God is the essence of the good. Well, you may think, how would that manifest itself in your life? Well, that might be pursuit of the good. That's the pursuit of the good that unites all proximal good. Well, what is that exactly? Well, it's something like belief that it would be for the best, that all things flourish to the degree that that's possible.
We're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, we'll never be retired.
I'm moving forward with my life because I deserve a better life. There's a you inside of you that you haven't even met yet. There's a life waiting for you that you haven't even experienced yet because you're choosing to stay in a life that isn't meant for you no more. You have left your greatness, you have left your peace, you have left that fulfilled you that you know who you are. You have left that person on the shelf for far too long. And you've accepted something that's past its expiration date. But you gotta make the decision right now. You gotta make the choice to say, no more. I refuse to settle for less anymore.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
You have to start living your life in expectation. You have got to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. If you live your life in expectations, that's what happens to you.
You began with a dream, a vision of what you could be. You've gotten a measure of success, but now that success has become a trap because you're addicted to what you've been. But that's not all that you're capable of. That's not all that you have to offer. That's not all that is within you. You've got to be willing to keep evolving, keep changing, keep developing. When they close out one door, you have to realize that a house is made of many doors. So open the next door and see what's behind it. And if you have to take down walls in order to expand your reach, your realm, your gifting, your talents, then do so. But keep evolving.
Turn your wounds into wisdom. You will be wounded many times in your life. You'll make mistakes. Some people will call them failures. But I have learned that failure is really God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction. It's just an experience.
It's your unlimited desires that are clouding your peace, your happiness. Every desire you have is an access where you will suffer.
Don't stop running toward your dream. It's very important. As you hold on to that dream, there are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. It's very important for you to know that. Don't say I'm having a bad day. Say I'm having a character building day.
Every man has two lives. And the second starts when he realizes he has just one.
There will come a time where you will have to leave the grave. You'll have to leave the grieving, you'll have to leave the hopelessness, because the very people we've been grieving, the very people who once gave us hope, the very people that we miss, would love to see us thrive. They would want to see you live life in such a way that it was big enough to cover not only your life, but their life. Give them something to be proud of. Let their life not be in vain, but take the vein that they gave you of love and blood and purpose and do something with it. Get up off the knees. Use the things that are instilled in you. Walk out this path so that they can see that what they gave echoes in eternity.
Staying motivated. Don't worry about motivation. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. It is unreliable, and when you are counting on motivation to get your goals accomplished, you will likely fall short. So don't expect to be motivated every day to get out there and make things happen. You won't be. Don't count on motivation. Count on discipline.
They don't print time. They don't print opportunities. You can lose money and get it back. You can't get time back. You can't get experiences back.
You need to be able to trust your own word. And a lot of us don't, because life is very convenient. It is easy for people to not stick to the promises that they set themselves, because our ability to be idealistic is always going to outstrip reality's ability to deliver that to us. As soon as you posit an ideal, you then begin to compare yourself to that ideal. And true hell is when the person that you are meets the person that you could have been.
You know what you have to do, so make yourself do it. You do that with discipline. Everyone wants some magic pill, some life hack that eliminates the need to do the work, but that does not exist. No. You have to do the work. You've got to hold the line. You've got to make it happen. So, dig in. Find the discipline. Be the discipline, and accomplish. That's it.
You see, God did not leave you on earth for you to suffer. He left you behind so that you could tell the story. Most people will live, and when they die, the generation that they were around will be the only ones to ever know their name. But then there are those who will echo into the future, and the only way they echo is through the lives of their grandchildren, their children, and they will echo through the lives of the things they do that are epic, that touch other people's lives. You are the echo that gets up every morning, that gets the chance to live out a legacy and leave your name, their name behind.
A lot of people talk about discipline. Okay, great. Why do you fall off the wagon? Why can't I continue with this routine? Going to the gym, being better, waking up early, eating the right foods. It's because maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your job, and it's all just stuck in your brain. You don't have it compartmentalized and organized in these nice shelves. So where am I gonna put discipline? You gotta be able to find all these different things in your mind. Oh, I can put discipline right there. I can put consistency right there. I can put all these things right there in that spot. If your life is not organized, and your life being everything around you.
Self-confidence is really someone who keeps promises of themselves. Because self-confidence is really like your reputation with yourself. If you've got a great reputation with yourself and you know you can trust you, you're not so concerned about your reputation and what other people think about you.
Stop being driven by rewards. Stop being driven by outcomes. Stop being driven by, if I get this, I'm gonna do this. Just work. And if you don't get what you thought you were gonna get, show up and still go to work.
But the one thing that is mobile is you. Your hopes, your dreams, your purpose. Get up again. Try again. Live again. Hope again. Touch other lives and leave your legacy. For the grave will wait for us all, but there's no reason for you to wait by the grave.
Because along the process, what's more important, what you acquire or who you become? And a lot of people think what they acquire is the thing that makes them who they are. No, it's who you become in the process of chasing what you want to acquire, right? Change expectation for appreciation. Extract the lessons and the blessings from the situations that didn't turn out the way you wanted them to turn out. But most importantly, man, approach it and eliminate the outcome.
This is your season of comeback. It's happening for your life. This is a season where everything changes for you. Everything changes for you, but you gotta claim it. You gotta own it. This is the season where everything that you're going through, everything that you've been through that didn't make sense, this is the season where it's gonna make sense. This is the season where all those losses in the past that didn't make sense, all the setbacks, all the no's, this is the season where you get that yes where it makes sense.
If you don't have a lofty ambition, then you suffer miserably. And the reason for that is life is really complex, short, finite, full of suffering, and beyond you. The suffering is meaningful, it's just not the kind of meaning you want. So how do you get out of that? You note the baseline of suffering, and then you say to yourself, okay, I need to do something that justifies that.
Because belief is the strongest thing we can have in our soul. Without belief, nothing happens. Without belief, nothing happens. If we don't believe it, nothing will happen in our life. Nothing will change in life, so you gotta believe it.
Commitment is staying true to what you said you would do long after the mood that you said it in has left.
Projecting yourself forward to see what are the consequences of failing, what are the consequences of stopping, is about as powerful of a motivation strategy as I can think of. Because what you're doing is you're trying to optimize right now to stop the discomfort. But what you're going to pay for that in is shame and guilt and regret long term. So what you need to be able to do is bundle all of that up that is as yet unfelt, but will last for way, way, way longer. You know, the future is much longer than now.
That's right.
The future is going to extend out up until the day that you die, and the now is just for now. And even 130 hours is just 130 hours. And you get to look back, and do you look back with pride and glory, or do you look back with shame and guilt?
The reason you need profound things is because life is actually a profound problem for everyone. I mean, you can shelter back and live a very conservative existence, and it doesn't stop you from having to face the ultimate questions of life. It would be better if you could, I think, if you could confront them full on. There are going to be times when you're in an emergency room and, you know, prone to panic and to cry and to break down and to collapse and to be of no use to anyone around you, and that's not the right way to be. The right way to be in a situation like that is to be strong and reliable, and I don't think you can do that without being wise.
At some point in life, we gotta wake up and we gotta say no more. We gotta wake up and we gotta say, man, this is it. We gotta wake up and say, I'm gonna make a change, a difference. We can't just be online watching things, saying amen, you know, all the things and go back to the same things, y'all. It doesn't work like that. Hearing things is great, but you know what? Doing things and taking action, that's what's gonna make change in your life. You need to start making some decisions. You ain't gotta change everything, but you need to say, you know what? This is the one thing that I'm gonna stop being loyal to, and this is the one thing I'm gonna start being loyal to.
You've had enough disappointment. Sometimes your brain doesn't want to get disappointed, so it's a permanent problem. No problem is permanent. Only your soul is permanent. Nothing's forever. Everything changes. Everything eventually ends and something new begins. That's part of life. Those are the seasons of life.
You have to lose your fear of failure. Failure is a part of the process. People who never fail, never try. You have to fail. You got to get it wrong to get it right. You learn nothing from winning. You only learn from your failures.
You must make moves in life. You cannot remain the same. Who you've been and who you were is not sufficient for where you're going. You must change. The environment that you grew up in is not one that you're trapped in. Because no one else won, no one else made it, doesn't mean that you won't, doesn't mean that you can't. What it means is that it's time for you to get sick and tired of seeing the same old. Get frustrated with what was. Get excited about what can be. Your past is behind you, but it is a roadmap of what to do and what not to do. It was a lesson, teacher. It was something that trained you for where you are today. But where you are today is just a pit stop. Refuel, recharge. Get over the trauma from the drama from your past. Use it as fuel to keep going. There are other laps in life that you must take. There are other people that you must pick up and provide passage safe for your family, because it begins with you. It only takes one person to start a new chain.
That you were born to do something great with your life. That you're enough, that you're special, that you're favored, that you're chosen, regardless of where you come from, regardless of what you've been carrying with you. But every day, some of us are killing ourselves with the shame we carry from something we've done, some humiliation, some fear. We put this gun to our head every day that tells us we're not enough. We're not strong enough, pretty enough, smart enough, favored enough, that we're doomed. And we carry these guns in our head every day that shame us, that take our confidence from us, that steal our joy. And there's a better way forward. You can put those things down in your life. You can decide today that you were born to do something great.
Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Keep working. Keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
In life, you don't have just one shot. You see, the only difference between you and anybody that has created the things that you want in life is that they just kept shooting over and over and over and over again until they got what they wanted. In life, you have an infinite number of shots.
Lots of hierarchies to attempt to climb, and if you fail in one, go try in another. But the point is, you're still trying to aim for the top. And what the hell are you going to do if you don't try to aim for the top? You know, flap about uselessly and whine about your life? It's not helpful. It'll just make you miserable. You're not reliable to anyone. You can't help out in a crisis. I don't care what you're going to do, but go out there and make something of yourself for God's sake. Be an honest person and work and get to the top of whatever it is that you want to get to the top of. You know, and stand up for yourself like a respectable human being and be a bit of a light on the world instead of a blight.
There are people who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season. There are people who come in your life like boosters for a rocket. If you ever watch a rocket go into space, the boosters fall off when it reaches a certain altitude. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes that you're going to. So don't be afraid when they fall off. They're not bad people. They just couldn't go where you're going.
The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. When you love the journey, the goals just happen. You hit milestones as a side effect. Because it doesn't matter. At that point, I don't care if I can lift this much weight or run this fast. I mean, that's cool, but I don't love it as much as I love the journey. I love the journey. What does the journey consist of? Sucking at something, failing, getting better, learning, start it over, do it again. When you fall in love with the journey, everything else takes care of itself.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same.
The more responsibility you take on, the more meaning your life has. And the higher degree of responsibility that you agree voluntarily to try to bear, the richer your life will be. It's like it's weight, it's responsibility, but there's glory in it. There's real glory in it. There's deep meaning in it.
Yes. Life can be overwhelming. That's the way life works. It is testing you. It is going to throw problems at you, and it is going to throw them at you all at the same time. This is the way life works. Murphy's Law. It is easy to feel beaten when you're faced with all those problems at once. But let me tell you, that does not mean give up fighting. In fact, it means the opposite. It is time for you to fight harder, to dig in, to go on the warpath, to assess what the problems are and decide which one you are going to attack first.
This is my question to you. When you gonna free yourself? How long are you gonna stay in this pain expecting change to happen in your life? How long are you gonna stay in this situation expecting things to change in your life? You've been here for the last year, the last 5 years, the last decade, staying in the same mess, accepting the same mess, and wondering why you're stressed, wondering why you're not happy, wondering why you're not fulfilled, wondering why you're not experiencing the life that you deserve to experience. When you gonna free yourself from the pain?
It won't be easy. In fact, it will be hard. Life is hard. That's what life is. And these challenges that you face, they are going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them.
If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools.
Oftentimes, people feel like they're alone in having a bad beginning. Having a family that isn't receptive, loving, or embracing or nurturing. You're not alone. You're not alone in the fact that there are times you felt abandoned, neglected, or disrespected. But what you do have to realize is that you must do the work alone. The work of first overcoming the willingness to allow the voices of other people to be more dominant than the voice that is within you. You've got to learn to speak to yourself in such a way that you can encourage yourself when no one else is there. Because there will come a time in your path, in your walk, in your life, where there is no one coming to rescue you, no one's coming to pick you up, no one's coming to care about your feelings, but you.
You have to understand that every portion of your life is designed with a purpose in mind. You don't have dreams without tests. You understand? And everything you're going through is God preparing you for what you asked for. So when you get tested, it's actually God preparing you for what you asked for. You got to have hardships, setbacks, missteps. The only way to learn how to get up, you got to fall. Only way to learn how to get over, you got to be under. The only way to learn how to win, you got to lose. Only way to appreciate the laughter, you got to be crying. You would not appreciate the sunshine if it didn't rain.
Stand up. Dig in. Line up those problems and confront them, face them, fight them. Do not let them bring you down. Instead, let these challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you.
You don't have to stay where you're just tolerated and not celebrated. You don't have to stay where you're not happy. You don't have to stay where you're not being better. You don't have to stay where you're suffering. You can free yourself from it. But when are you going to do it? When are you going to realize that if you don't do it, you're going to be staying with this pain forever? You're going to stay in this place of misery for the rest of your life. And I'm not trying to put fear in your heart, but I am putting reality on your mind. Nothing's going to change. At some point, if it serves no purpose in your life, for your life, you got to free it from your life. And I know it's easier said than done. But you know what's a lot harder? Staying in pain for the rest of your life. You know what's a lot harder? Staying in chaos for the rest of your life. You know what's a lot harder? Staying in misery for the rest of your life.
If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it all on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. And so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
The power to manifest is in experiencing the fullness of the present moment, life in its fullness. Life in its fullness is an inner state of being. It is to experience, to know, to realize the beingness within you, the I am, which is consciousness itself. That is the fullness of life